Captain's Log, Stardate 54971.9. The expedition has been trolling the shipping lanes between ESD and Starbase 12 for the past 5 days now. Reports have come in that a few of the supply convoys between this location have been under attack in the recent month. As to who these assailants are is unclear at this time, as we are still working out why these convoys are under attack. Not much known is about these assailants I cannot talk all of a sudden. Not as much known about these assailants or what they are after, or this could just be mere pirate activity or something else altogether. But for now, time will tell.
Oh, is that the end of the log?
Yes, sorry about the interruption.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had more.
Nope, that was it.
Okay, so you guys are on a pretty routine patrol mission. It's been very uneventful. A nice little change of pace from your stuck in the Devil's Triangle, which you guys were stuck in. So I figure what we could do to start is we could take a few minutes, do a little free role play, probably in the Royal Mast or whatever. And I figure, whoever wants to can talk about their vacations on Ryza. To give you guys reference on where you are at currently, if I can remember how to ping everybody, is it Alter Control? Don't know if you guys were able to see that.
Yep, I can see it.
All right, cool. That's kind of where the ship is. So you guys have a reference point. So whoever wants to, you guys can do some free roleplay about your vacations to Ryza, what you guys did, stuff like that. If not, we can continue forward. Up to you guys.
Did anyone show up to my dinner party?
I would have.
Very good. I did actually mean to write something out in the chat there, but this week has been total hell for me.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't respond either. It's been one of those weeks. So it looks like the chief is in there.
I guess Casey'd be there as well, just at the bar. Just sipping a synth ale.
So I grab another Mendrock token. Cool. I'll throw you guys at the bar together. Casey has a synth ale. And what was Mendrock's drink? Oh, rum and coke.
Yep.
Does Benzite or what? I don't know the Benzite planet if they have their own rum.
I'm sure they do. I don't have any idea. So I'm just
like bright pink or something.
I mean, I came from a research station anyway, so.
Benzite, rum and coke. That sounds good.
Yep.
Rum and cola, probably.
Yeah.
How are you today, Chief?
Oh, I'm pretty good. That was an interesting get together on Ryza. And massive amount of food you made. So many things I've tried that I never tried before.
Well, it's something I wish I could do more here on the ship, but any time we can get down to a planet like that with such bountiful, fresh ingredients, it's truly one of my favorite hobbies and pastimes. There's nothing greater than bringing some happiness to your friends through good food. And I'm glad you could make it.
Yeah, definitely different than being cooped up on the ship and no one shooting at us or trying to kill us. That was a nice, relaxing moment for sure.
Well, I guess we're back out on patrol. Who knows how long it is until our next vacation, so we have to savor everything we get.
Indeed.
Did you do anything
Hopefully.
else on Risa other than come to my party, I suppose?
Oh, I
Get a
went and looked at um, some architecture and various talked with a few people that were in science and engineering. I was hoping to see Lieutenant Nadon, but I don't know if I just lost track of her or what. But I've enjoyed working with her lately. It's an insight.
She is quite the promising officer, and
She's indeed.
I myself, well, aside from a good amount of time in the kitchen, well, mostly I just toured the market, the local flavors. It's a very interesting people,
There's a wide diversity there, that's for sure.
indeed. Cheers to Risa, and he raises his synthale.
Cheers. Drink down my drink and look
That's all I
around.
got.
Yep.
Anyone else?
DeGrasse will make his way in and mosey up to the bar.
Hello, Commander. The usual.
Uh, make it a little weaker than normal. I still coming back from vacation, you know, Bob.
Yes, Commander. Nice and weak. And he'll slide a glass of your usual to you.
Chief, Lieutenant Commander, how are you,
Sir.
gentlemen?
Very good.
Pretty good, Commander. How are you?
Uh, good. Takes a little bit of a drink of his glass. Casey, I'm sorry I wasn't able to attend your dinner. Something came up.
Well, my heart's only a little bit broken.
I know. I was looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm sure we'll have another opportunity sometime in the future.
Well, I've been thinking, well, it was quite cathartic for me, especially with everything that's been happening, to just host my good friends and crewmates. I'd like to put something on in my quarters at some point of a similar vein.
DeGrasse takes another drink. What did you end up having?
What did I made a list, but Hosperat, carbonara, and eclairs.
Huh.
In addition to several local fruits and vegetables made into a few varieties of salads. The produce on Risa is quite unique.
Sounds interesting. DeGrasse takes another drink. Well, now that didn't sound like there was any spiciness, I'm kind of regretting not being able to come.
Well, the Hospirat was very spicy.
Hmm.
I got a brine from a Bajoran militia officer during the war, a brine recipe, and well, you've certainly got to prepare yourself for it.
Understood. Well, gentlemen, to being back on shift. Negras raises his glass.
Casey raises his.
Prost.
Prost.
Raise mine.
And Negras takes a big drink of his rather weak drink.
You made a point to say weak drink, so I wouldn't make you roll for something.
Yep.
Well, to a certain extent, that was framing up DeGrasse's activities on Ryza. So decided to take it easy this time.
Okay. Captain Nadon, anything you guys would like to do or add?
She's just going out and taking Jezu for a walk around the ship.
Okay.
I'll go to the bar and just have a dinner, I guess.
And Bob will come up. You say, "How you doing, Lieutenant? What can I get you?"
I'm doing well. What's the special today?
We have kidney pie today, Lieutenant.
Sure, I'll give that a try. Why not?
And Bob will walk over to the kitchen area, grab it, and bring you a plate.
Great. I'll have a stout with that as well.
And he'll go over to his little tap and pour you one.
Nice.
Here you are, Lieutenant. Enjoy.
Great. And seeing the others there, I'll raise a glass and a toast.
How was your time on Ryza, Lieutenant?
Peaceful.
Meet anyone interesting?
Few of the local horizons. Mostly though, I was off on my own, just enjoying nature. Seeing something that isn't steel bulkhead.
Well, that's a vacation I can certainly approve of.
Yourself? What did you do on Reza?
Well, aside from the dinner party and plenty of cooking, I met a few very interesting people. And spent a lot of time on the beach.
Beaches are good. Was it mostly swimming, sunbathing, water sports?
Swimming, I suppose. Some sunbathing, but good to take one of my antique books out and just read under natural sunlight for a change.
It's fair.
And as Nadan is finishing her meal, the red alert klaxon starts to sound.
I set my empty glass down and say, well, time to do engineering.
Duty calls.
And I head for engineering.
Casey drops his or puts the rest of his synthale down on the bar and sprints toward the bridge.
Nidon will put the tray in the matter recycler and head off to the bridge as well.
Captain, do you head off to your quarters first to secure the pup, or do you bring the pup to the bridge?
I bring the pup on the bridge and secure her in her ready room.
All right. So the crew sees the captain walk onto the bridge with a dog in tow.
Well, Captain, have I been replaced as XO?
Not yet, Commander. Status report.
We don't know yet, Captain.
To me, that makes sense.
Captain, incoming priority 1 message. A suspected Borg activity in Sector 001. All ships' current orders are hereby rescinded, and we are ordered to join the fleet at the following coordinates. Coming in now.
What you get?
Maintain red alert. Helm, set a course for Sector 001. Maximum warp.
Hi, Captain. Let me find my warp sound.
Captain, there's a shockwave headed in our direction. It'll intercept us in approximately 1 minute.
Shields up. What sort is shockwave, Lieutenant?
Go ahead and give me a reason or control with science. Difficulty 2, assisted by the ship's sensors and science. So difficulty 1. I just need the ship. Get 2 momentum.
It's a chronoton particle shockwave, Captain.
Helm, attempt to avoid the shockwave. All hands brace for impact.
So the helm officer tries to make a series of bold maneuvers. And after the minute goes by, all the ship feels is just a slight little turbulence. You know, just a little shimmy on the bridge. And you don't really notice anything out of the ordinary.
Well, Captain. Wonder what we're in for this time.
Lieutenant, can you, Lieutenant Nod, can you pinpoint the origin of the chronoton shockwave?
See if I can triangulate the position of origin, Captain.
All right, this is going to be a difficulty 4 task using reason or insight with science, assisted by the ship's sensors and science. So it'll be a difficulty of 3.
Okay, I will spend momentum to get an extra die.
All right, you got it.
It appears that's coming from the black hole, Captain. Or it was coming from the black hole. The black hole isn't there anymore, Captain. I'm not sure how that could happen. Black holes don't just disappear.
What do sensors currently show where the black hole was at?
So the black hole in question is like a well-documented black hole around this sector. It's one of those places that are ships are told to avoid because of the dangerous black hole in the area. So it's a pretty well-known area.
Right, but she said it was missing. So my question is, what's there currently?
Oh, nothing. Empty space.
Nothing, Captain.
GM, given my background, I guess, with having focuses like astrophysics, temporal mechanics, would I suspect anything at this point?
Give me insight science. I'll make this a difficulty 3.
All right, I'll use a momentum. I'm assuming temporal mechanics apply?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Shouldn't have done all that partying on Ryza.
I know, right? So you can't recall anything about this. It's one of those things that you were probably taught at one point, but kind of like dismissed it.
Gotcha.
So rare it'll never happen.
Helm, what is our current position?
We are still on course, Captain.
ETA until we arrive at Earth?
About 30 minutes. Guesstimating.
Casey, any word from the fleet?
And Sir, I no longer detect any Federation communication particularly unusual. Not in line with anything I know of Borg tactics or capabilities.
Captain, might I suggest running a scan of the position of the stars compared to what they should be in our location?
She nods to Nadon.
Go ahead and give me a insight science difficulty of 0. Or insight reason, whichever.
Insight reason?
Insight or reason with science.
Oh, okay.
And then assisted by
Ship sensor science, I
sensor
assume?
science. Yeah. I was debating computers for a minute, but nope. You guys get 2 momentum.
So that's 3 momentum, right? Because we went negative. Jokey.
Don't think that's how that works.
Everything is where it should be, Captain.
Except for the dangerous black hole that's in this sector.
Yes, Captain. And potentially the fleet as well?
Mr. Casey, see if you can't isolate any comms subspace traffic.
Yes, sir. So I assume, like, just look for like any communications of any kind.
All right, Casey, go ahead and give me reason or control using security difficulty 2, assisted by the ship's sensors security. So I guess
Okay.
it would be difficulty of 1.
All right. Take a threat. Minimum.
Yep, and we just need the ship's sensor security.
I've got the ship.
All right, you get 3 out of that.
Ooh. Sir, I do not detect any Starfleet signatures. However, there are thousands of Borg ships and systems that I am detecting in what have, until now, been known as Federation systems.
Lieutenant, scan up ahead. See if you can't pinpoint how many Borg vessels are in the area.
Yes, Captain.
Okay, this is probably going to be control science. I'll make this a base difficulty of 3. I got threat. Let's make it a base difficulty of 4. Assisted by the ship's sensors and security.
Base 4?
Yeah, base
So-
4. So it'll be diff 3.
We have 5 momentum.
I'll spend 1 and take it 3 dice.
All right. You succeeded at the test, but you do have a complication.
I'll spend momentum to deal with the complication.
All right.
Given that it seems like we got sucked into something bad, I don't really think we want complications right now.
I believe I sent you the thing to done. Just want to make sure you got it.
Yes, I just received it. Captain, there are Borg life signs on Earth. But only one ship in orbit.
Type of vessel?
That could be your free question.
I'll use it. It's a probe ship, Captain. A Borg probe ship.
She taps on her combo to put ship wide.
There's a thing for that. There it is.
Attention crew. By now, most of you are aware that we're on our way to Earth at the presence of a possible Borg invasion. Shortly before the expedition was struck by a chronoton wave, it appears that the chronoton wave spared us, and the Borg having altered the timeline somehow. It appears that the Federation is no more, and that the Borg have assimilated both Earth and potential other habitable worlds. We are still on our way to Earth at the moment, where a Borg probe ship is currently at. Our goal is to ascertain the situation and how the Borg managed to assimilate the Federation. For now, I want everyone at their stations and continue to check in for possible intruders who may beam aboard the ship at a moment's notice. And she ends the shipwide channel. Mr. Casey, I want security teams deployed out to all secure areas.
Absolutely, Captain.
Helm ETA?
15 minutes.
Lieutenant, are there any other Borg ships other than the probe in the vicinity?
None that I detected on the initial scan, Captain, but I'll scan again. I don't think it would hurt to be cautious given the situation. Currently, it's clear, Captain.
Senior staff to the conference room.
All right. Before that, Nadan, go ahead and give me control science, and I'll let you set that up as an advantage. Difficulty of 1 with your sensors. And then I just need to ship's sensor science. Cool. Nadan, you sent the ship's computer to do an active scan for transwarp signatures. So
Great.
you'll be alerted if you spot any.
Excellent.
Then we gotta go to conference room.
For whatever reason, we've been spared the fate. I need a game plan on how to capture that Borg probe vessel. We need to get data and figure out how, or well, when the Borg went to and assimilated Earth and other Federation worlds.
What do we know about born technology that can help us? Can we disable their systems and get aboard somehow?
Well, given the current information, it would seem that the Borg have traveled back in time. At least that's what we can presume safely. Commander, I want you to prepare an away team to beam over to the Borg probe and try to gain as much information when or how they managed to assimilate Earth and the rest of the Federation.
Of course, Captain. DeGrasse looks a little uneasy. We'll get as much as we can.
Captain, might I recommend issuing phasers to all members of the crew? and Type 3, issuing out Type 3s to the security personnel.
Granted, but remember, the Borg tend not to initiate an aggressive policies unless they deem us to be hostile.
Of course, sir. Purely for defensive measures. I'd also like to uh, instruct some of my personnel to come up with a um, phaser modulation plan to, hopefully, at least for a while, keep their shields from adapting to our phaser frequencies.
Very well. I know this is difficult. But given everything we've been through so far, I'm sure we'll overcome it. To your post. We have a job that needs to get done.
Aye, Captain.
Captain?
Thank you, Captain.
And I figure everyone will leave the room, leaving the captain with her thoughts.
Briefly, she's gonna go check on Jezu.
The dog seems a little. Jesu seems a little shaken up, but is no worse for wear. Hold on. I'm gonna roll challenge dice to see if something happens. Nope, everything's normal.
I'm not sure if you wanted me to roll for it, GM, but I was hoping to create like a bit of an advantage for ground by like trying to like pre-program the phasers to like at least for as long as possible keep their shields sort of on edge.
So you want to set your phasers to do like a rotating frequency modulation?
Yes, like as best one we can make, I guess.
Okay, go ahead and give me control security difficulty 2.
Can I use hand phasers as a focus?
Yep.
All right. Take a threat. Jesus. Well, I'm gonna reroll 1. Well, still a complication, but
Yep.
it's success.
All right, I will use the complication. So you're the real issue in trying to go through all these phasers and setting up a program to do it is the amount of time it's going to take. So you are able to program maybe 2 to 3 shots of it being a rotating frequency before it reverts to its original frequencies and repeats over. So after the second shot, I will roll a challenge dice, and if I get a challenge dice, the Borg will adapt to the weapon.
Cool.
Make it the third shot. You get 3 shots.
Can Casey ask Knight if she has like maybe a batlith or some mechliths she might be willing to lend? The greater good.
I don't know if she has any of those.
Our most Klingon crewmate. I guess I could replicate one.
Let me see her stats. If she doesn't have a hand-to-hand type thing, nope.
Yeah.
Any other advantage creating type things?
I'm gonna ask Nidon and Mendrock to go through any information we have in the computer database about Borg vessel design and things like that, to try to get any information we can on any like nexus or anything else on board that they think might be worthwhile to beam us to try to get in and get out as quickly as possible.
Who is doing this? You and
Oh, I was just going to ask Nidon and Mendrock.
okay, cool. I can have you guys do a roll for that. Since I still have all this threat, I'm gonna go ahead and make this a difficulty 3. Insight engineering, assisted by the ship's computers engineering.
Insight.
So whoever you guys want can make the main roll, and then one can assist.
Mendrock, I think it's probably better if you take the lead on this,
All right.
given you're our chief engineer.
And you wanting to know about the Borg ship? Don't know if I have. Any EPS systems help me with the focus?
No.
All right. I'll buy an eye.
And then you just need to don and the ship. Someone grab the ship. I think Kempton might have went AFK for a minute.
What's the ship rolling?
Computers engineering. Okay. You get 1 momentum back. And so what exactly were you having them do, DeGrasse, so I know exactly what to send them?
Yeah, so I was having them look through the computer database for any previous encounters with the Borg, looking for ship designs and things, just to position us when we beam over as close to any objectives as possible to get information and things like that.
Okay. All right, I sent you both the information. Oh, DeGrasse, go ahead and give me a presence command assist.
Okay.
You know, like a team working type thing.
Nice.
And you could get an extra threat. Or, extra momentum.
Oh, Commander, it looks like the data nodes scattered throughout the ship can be accessed or at least recovered, especially if we end up having to destroy the ship. Might be able to grab one and try and beam it out if we can get past their shields.
So you're saying we have vulnerabilities if we get into a fight, and we might be able to easily capture a Borg drone?
Well, the data nodes that are on the ship.
Gotcha.
So we can either try and take one or recover one if we have to destroy the ship.
Excellent. Well, thank you both. Excellent work.
You're welcome, Commander.
I think that's what you're trying to have them look for.
Yes, essentially.
In which case, they're literally everywhere.
Yeah, I remember. I can't remember if it was an episode or a movie. They mentioned that like the defining feature of a Borg cube is that everything's dispersed everywhere. Um, I didn't know if the probes were any different. I don't know too much about them.
Yep, they're, you know, the Borg ship is the Borg ship. It's just big or small.
Cool.
Like the probe ship is basically like their scouting vessel. Okay, if there's nothing else you want to do, we could go ahead and go to the next scene and your arrival at Earth. Yay?
Yep.
I believe that's it.
Yay
Alright.
for me.
Let me find my bloody drop out of warp sound. There it is. Alright, the expedition drops out of warp, and you find that the entire planet has been devastated by Borg orbital attacks. The space around Earth is full of debris from space stations and destroyed ships. On the planet below, you can see several of the landscapes glowing the telltale green glow of Borg technology.
Lieutenant, scan the debris.
Yes, Captain.
All right, before that, though, I gotta send something to Casey. Where are you, Casey? There you are. Sorry, not sphere. Probe.
Captain, the Borg sphere Borg probe is moving on an intercept course.
Maintain red alert. Arm weapons. What's their range?
Right now, long range.
Let's hear it.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your vessel. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile. Extreme range currently.
Helm. Evasive maneuvers.
Aye, sir.
I do want him to do the evasion task.
Yep. Yep. So go ahead and give him an activation. You should be at 2 momentum though. DeGrasse got you 1 more at the end of the scene before it dropped. All right, so who wants to take the con officer?
I can roll them just to get it out of the way if you guys want.
I get the feeling I'll probably be rolling a good amount, so best let someone else play him.
Old con, so it is Daring Con, correct? If I remember correctly.
I want to say yes. Let me double check my handouts. Yes, Daring Con difficulty of 1 has a power requirement of 1, assisted by Structure Con.
Okay, take a threat.
I do love threat.
He's gonna reroll 1. Really? Spending his determination to reroll 2. Propulsion is a science, navigation is an art.
Yep. That's a better roll.
And the ship is rolling.
Structure Con. So you get 4 momentum.
Spending 2 of that because he has precise evasion, so we don't suffer the difficulty increase.
Cool.
And the ship currently is at, because of Lancing impact, total of 8 resistance.
Works for me.
Um, I don't really want to accidentally blow it up, so let's spend 2 to keep the initiative. I am going to go. I'm going to do plan of action. So I want to create advantage to help lower the difficulty during our combat engagement. So RP wise, attack pattern Omega 12.
I Captain Omega 12.
And what is my roll?
I believe that's just an advantage roll, right?
Yes.
All right, so probably Presence Command. Div 2.
This is really early. Actually, I'll save it. Just in case. Take a threat.
Threat for days.
I believe that's a momentum.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And we're currently in extreme.
Yes.
Casey, what are your? Do you have you don't have precise targeting, do you?
No, I do not. He's more of a ground guy.
Gave it to Code, I think. If we impulse to them, would that be medium range? My math is right.
Yeah, it says anywhere within long range.
So yeah, because they're extreme, so that would put us in medium.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to spend my determination. Ooh. Actually, no. I'm going to let it pass.
So you're letting a turn pass?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Borg sphere does like a quick warp maneuver and moves within close range of your ship. I am going to spend 2 threat to keep the initiative. I believe that increases my difficulty, does it not?
Only if you're doing the same task.
Oh, okay. Then I am not. So I'll spend 2 to keep it. And I'll spend 1 more to get an extra dice. Two to squash. There we go. For some reason, it wasn't rolling on me. Now I gotta remember what all these bloody things do.
That sucks because that's 4 power loss.
What's your resistance currently at?
8.
Right now I'm at 7. 4. Four. I'm gonna spend 3 threat to do 6 piercing total. So that should be 5, right?
Yeah.
Then random breach to the structure. challenge dice. Nope. All right, so yeah, so you'll take 5 damage to structure. You lose 4 power. It will pass back to you. They are within close range. Oh, wait a minute. No, that should have been a difficulty 3 because you're evasive maneuverings. Ignore
Yes.
all of that.
So,
So
no
I'm going to
damage.
take my 3. Yeah, I'm going to take my 3 threat
Yeah.
back because it wouldn't have mattered then. I will squash the complication though. My mistake. So they shoot and miss, or at the very least, bounce off your shields, and it still passes back to you.
I'm gonna say we have Coda go. Because she has, because like if this conflict, like we need to damage them and weaken them. So if the
Well, in case he's, well, I assume he'd be on the away team. Which makes
yeah.
sense.
So you can roll for her.
Yeah, I'll play Coda.
The reason why I'm saying is because she has precision targeting.
Yeah, I get it.
Because then the ship gains piercing 1. Also, when we're gonna have to target their engines for this.
Okay.
And you'll probably go after her just in case if you're on the bridge
Yeah.
still, because we'll probably we want to try and keep the initiative on this. So.
So this is just wait. So I'm going now, or Coda's going now.
Coda's going now for precision targeting.
Right. Okay. And that is a difficulty 2 because they're in close.
So we're targeting, so it goes up by 1. They're in close, goes up by another. So base is gonna be 4.
4. Okay.
But plan of actions in effect, so difficult goes down by 1. So it should be difficulty 3.
Okay.
Currently.
I will try to spend her determination, I think. GM, would you accept the value protecting others as my pa? Because if she doesn't, hit the Borg ship
Yeah.
correctly,
Yeah, I'll take it.
we're screwed.
May I spend a momentum and give the GM a threat for bold security too.
Yep, that was my plan. So
And
1 threat, 1 momentum.
Also,
mama.
she could re-roll 2 technically, because
Wait, can she?
yes, because precision targeting, when the character makes an attack targeting using a specific system, they may re-roll 1d20 in their dice pool.
Right. Okay.
And then bold, right?
All right, so that's 4 successes. She spent her determination.
And then I just need the ship's weapon security.
That's 5.
Yeah.
So you get 2 momentum. You may fire when ready.
I got the
All
ship
right.
sheet up. So this isn't going to be spread or anything like that, because we're not calling that, because we're not trying to do that. Can we go ahead and put an extra power in there, GM? Because I know we didn't call it earlier.
Yeah, as long as you do it all before damage, I'm okay with that.
It is versatile. Plan of action also, she gets 2 additional bonus momentum. So we're going to spend 1 of the bonus momentum to re-roll.
All right. Right now you are doing 4 damage. Before we add anything else, you guys are at 4.
Right. So, but it's piercing 1 with precision targeting. So there's also 3 off the resistance too.
Okay, so then that would be 8.
Is that a 1 breach?
Yes. Yeah.
So we're gonna spend one of the currently because plan of action also gives 2 bonus momentum for the task roll. So we'll re-roll 4 of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't knock down their shields. It's an extra resistance, but
Resistance was beat with the other ones. Or it is now. 9 damage.
okay. So 9. The other from plan of action goes to extra damage, so a total of 10.
Okay.
They still up.
2 points.
So that's 2 breaches.
If you find another 2 points of damage, then you will have 2 breaches. They have 12 shields.
What is their? So they did lose, but my question is because like we're trying to knock their power down.
I guess we could spend 2 to or to keep the initiative and have
Well,
Casey
we
go.
still have the versatile still.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you could spend versatile into power damp for power loss. It's 1 point per momentum
Yes.
spend.
Let's go ahead and just do the 2 versatile into extra damage to get the extra breach.
All right, so I believe that's 2 breaches to engines, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Their engines are damaged.
Okay, so they did lose 2 power.
They lost 4 total from the 2 impacts.
The impact only it because they went from impact to damaged. For scale 4.
Oh, it's 1 or more. Okay, never
Yeah.
mind.
But
Forgot the one. Forgot the order.
yeah, all difficulties involved like being assisted by the engines increases by +2.
Yep.
And they get
I got the
1 power loss every round or whatever.
every round. Yep. Cool.
I say we spend 2 to do a swift task and have her go again with the ship's phasers. You'll have to give the GM. You'll have to give the GM threat for this again, Casey.
Yep.
For Coda,
Yep. So
we're targeting engines again.
yeah. So is the difficulty increased on this one? Is it up to 5?
It was 3, so it would be difficulty 4 now.
Okay. Yeah.
You spent the momentum, correct?
Yes, we spent the momentum.
All right, cool.
Okay. 4.
How much threat do I get?
Give him 3.
I guess 3 threat. Yeah, for 4 dice. Here goes nothing. So close.
You get to reroll 2, correct?
Yes, he
You're
gets
still
to roll.
targeting.
Yes, he
Oh,
can roll,
okay.
roll
Yeah.
one more.
There we are.
There you go. Hit me when you're ready.
Spending another power again.
Mm-hmm.
Plan of action still in effect too, so.
So that's 7 damage coming at me.
Yes.
That will be 2 more breaches to their engines.
Okay, so their engines are now, I guess, considered disabled.
Correct.
So with the 2 versatile, we put that into power loss. And with the 2 from plan of action, we're going to keep the initiative.
All right, so it loses 2 power from the hits. You put 2 more into power loss.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, just making sure. Just making sure of my power reserves here. All right, so I'm set on my end.
What is their power currently at, GM?
2.
Go ahead and keep the initiative, Casey. You're gonna have to hit their. Ugh. That's going into warp core territory. Probably don't want to focus on their engines again.
Just a spread.
No, because then we get their engines. We probably. Let's do.
Weapons? Communications?
Communications would be a good one because if we can, I don't know if we can cut off their link with the collective, then don't the drones just kind of
Yeah,
peace out?
let's do that. Go for their communications array, and then we're going to do power drain to keep their power at 0.
Okay.
So
what difficulty am I looking at to target? Because I do not
And you
understand.
spent the 2 momentum here, right?
there was some plan of action kicked in because there's 2 bonus when she did the second task again. So we used that. We spent the versatile for power loss. And then we spent the 2 bonus momentum from the plan of action that kicked in to keep the initiative.
Okay, gotcha.
So what difficulty am I looking at for this?
It should be 3 with plan of action.
Is there a limit on plan of action on where it can go into?
It is an advantage as long as the advantage sticks. It continues forward. So, like, if we were to go and attack something else like a Borg cube, that probably wouldn't apply anymore.
Okay. I'm just getting talents mixed up here, I think.
I'm going to spend 2 momentum and a threat for 4 dice for this action.
How much threat?
One threat. Okay, so that was a good roll. Awesome.
Dear God. What was the difficulty here, and what did you...
It should be 3.
3, yeah. So 5 momentum, and we're firing just a phaser burst at communications.
Yeah.
Right.
We're at 5 power, so we're going to be careful. We're not going to be able to add any more power to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll
Right.
just go with base.
Hit me with your best shot.
I got a song stuck in my head. Thank you.
You're welcome. You still get the resistance thingy, right?
Yes. No, we don't.
All right, that was the other thing. Okay.
Yes. So that is 3.
Right now you're at 3 damage. Yes. It is 1 breach currently.
Let's spend 2 from the plan of action for piercing. So total 4 piercing.
Okay. You probably only need to spend 1
Actually, yeah, we'll spend 1, and the other
of
one
that.
goes in, and the other one goes to power loss.
Right, they're at 1 power currently. 2 breaches on comms and 1 power left.
So Casey, you could spend the versatile 2 to do a swift task if you want to.
Okay, will that increase my difficulty to 5 if I try to fire the phasers again?
Before.
Right, I keep forgetting
Yeah.
which one we were at. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll do that. I'll take the risk. I'm going to spend, I guess, to roll 5 dice. I guess it would be 5 momentum and 1 threat.
Yes.
Okay, that is what I will spend then.
You get a reroll. I believe you get 1 momentum. They just need weapons. 1 momentum it is. Go ahead and shoot again.
And this was targeting comms again.
Yeah.
That would be 5. Yep, that'll be 2 more. I'm assuming you want 1 versatile to kill their power.
Yes. 1 versatile to kill the power. There, because we kept the initiative. Casey did a task. I don't think you can go negative power, so I think we'll just leave it there. Because if we do devastating, the only other like momentum spin we could do. We're going into dangerous territory with that. Just saying. So we'll leave it at that.
All right, with that last phaser barrage, kind of the tag team from Coda and Casey, you overwhelm all of their engines and communication systems, as well as drain their power. So now the ship, the green glow on the outside of the ship, goes dark, and you are now out of combat.
Excellent work. Chief, begin restoring power. Commander, assemble your away team. You won't have long.
Aye, Captain.
Pleasure, Captain.
All right, I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick. Be right back.
I will also be back shortly.
Well, that went a lot better than it could have.
I'm shaking my boots. Borg are no joke, man.
No, I know. I'm just glad that this is what we ran into.
Yeah, I was scared all the hell myself.
I mean, we would not be using phasers against a cube. We would be using quantum torpedoes full barrage.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I think I'm going to give Kota for her upgrade the Maximil full salvo.
All right, I'm back. All right, so what are we doing next?
Sending an away team over to collect information.
How long would it take for Mendrak to restore power?
And I'm gonna work on that.
Okay. Yeah, because I either want him or some other engineer to come with us.
So you guys don't have to worry about restoring power. A little spoiler, I guess, but after you guys do whatever you need to do on that ship, that's probably going to be the end of the scene. So you guys don't have to worry about figure out who's doing the power stuff.
Okay, well, I'm all yours, Commander.
Cool. Yeah. So let's do Mendrock. Casey for sure. Casey, we're assembling the away team. Feel free to
Got
pick. Okay, yeah, feel free to pick another security.
Chakrith.
Gotcha. Nidan, do you want to come with us? Do you want to stay on the ship?
I'll come if you think my skill set could be useful.
Okay. So that's our team. Casey, do you think we need any other armaments, or do you think we're good?
I guess the usual Type 3s, but we only get 3 shots, so I don't know if it's worth the cost.
Well, it's 3 shots before it could potentially they could adapt to it.
Yes, right.
So you get 3 shots of them not being able to adapt fully. And that's per weapon.
Well, I guess we'll bring Type 3s to make it best as we can. Like, do as much damage with those 3 shots as we could. Unless anyone wants to bring I thought about bringing like a bat lift, but I have a bunch of hand-to-hand bonuses, so I think I might as well.
Well,
use my
am I
bonus.
issued a Type 2? Because I only technically have a Type 1, I think.
You'll get a. Well, I assume everyone will take a Type 3 if we spend for it, unless anyone doesn't want to. Are pulse grenades like electrical? Like, would their shields protect them, or could I bypass their
they are probably something they would eventually adapt to.
I see. All right. In that case, I say Type 3s in our fists, and whatever anyone else thinks that they need for their particular role in the away team is my opinion. But anything to Gruss?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Mendrock, do you think you'll need anything to extract the Borg data nodes?
GM?
It'll just be a standard kit.
Okay.
I don't want to overcomplicate this for you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Well,
How
in that
many
case,
Type 3s are we taking?
I
if we
guess.
spent for it, don't we all get a Type 3?
We have to. It's depends on what the GM says. So escalation cost is going to be 2, which that's one time, and then we have to spend opportunity cost for each one. Assuming depends when that GM waives the opportunity cost or not.
I
Don't-
will not. This is the Borg. If you're going in with threatening weapons,
Casey, what do you think?
In that case,
well,
honestly, I would just go in there with just our Type 2s, but
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Let's do that.
technically have a Type 1 on my ship.
I think as I understand, an officer like either DeGrosse or I could authorize you to carry a Type 2 without it being an escalation or opportunity spend. I think was like, because it's like when lieutenant commanders or above could.
give everyone a Type 2. I'm okay with.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
Everyone has Type 2.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, let's stick to Type 2s and not be threatening, if at all possible.
We have to. Yeah,
we
we
just
probably
blow them up.
we need to keep their threat in check, or it's gonna go sideways real quick on us.
Yeah, good call.
Because I'm already at 16, by the by.
Okay.
I think we're good to go with just what we got.
And I've probably spent at least 10.
All
Just
right.
saying.
Yeah. No. All right. Unless anybody else can think of anything else, I think we're good to go. So I'm assuming their shields are down, correct?
They are.
Okay. Let's head
They are
down.
definitely down. They have no power.
Let's head down to the transporter room.
All right. So I'm going to need the transporter roll. This would be a difficulty of, I think it's 1 actually.
I can
Wait.
get Sokolov, I guess.
Yeah, difficulty of 1 with all your bloody advantages.
Control engineering.
Yep. Assist by sensors engineering.
All right. Let's give this a shot. Sokolov stats.
Get 2 momentum out of it, which is probably good for you guys. Ooh, and then that, I guess that cues my sound effect. If I can find it. If I had time, I would have made a Borg ship corridor, but time. All right, so who's all here? Nadon, Mendrock, Casey DeGrasse,
And Shachakrith.
probably being played by El Capitan.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so you guys beam into the ship, and the ship is heavily damaged. You could definitely tell there's holes in bulkheads. Security force fields are not operating properly. Many Borg drones lie either dead or dying. The ones that are not are in their regeneration alcoves attempting to repair the ship. All of the auto repair drones located on this ship in particular are busy trying to fix the ship. They are in very bad shape.
So which data nodes do you want to try to access, Commander?
Well, since we're not entirely sure where various parts of the data are kept, I'm assuming, let's find the nearest one, access it, see what we can do. GM, do we see anything around us that looks like it could contain a data node?
Sorry, what was that?
Data nodes. We're going node hunting.
Okay. Whoever one of you lovely engineers would like to give me a control engineering task.
Alright.
I'm actually going to make this, since I have all this threat, a difficulty of 4. Let's go ahead and make that a complication of 2 as well.
Okay. Computers to access the node.
Yeah, I'll let you use computers.
Alright. I'll go ahead and buy a die. Activate cautious engineering if need be. And oh, that was not great.
You could re-roll the complication, but it was difficulty 5, right?
4.
4.
Yeah.
You'll have to spend your determination still.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You probably have to spend it to reroll 2.
Let me do that. Can I do that?
What value?
Um, understands technology better than people.
That probably works for me.
You does he have a focus, GM?
Computers, but it wouldn't have helped in this case.
Well, he still has another reroll.
Oh, does he?
Yes, because of cautious engineering.
Yep.
Aha. Yes, he
So
does.
you can chance it to see if you can't get a crit, which
He did not.
No.
I will allow succeeding at cost here.
would Don be able to assist?
Yeah, at the same complication range. Why not?
Cool.
I would imagine the first thing Nadon did when she boarded was get out her tricorder.
You imagined correctly. So complication range was 3, 2.
What's 2?
Okay.
All right, that'll do it.
Nice.
All right, so because of how badly the ship is damaged in this part of the ship, you are going to have to travel a little bit a ways to find an undamaged node. But you are able to find one. Well, these ships are kind of small, so about 30 meters away on this level.
So, Chief, does it look intact?
It looks like it is, Commander.
Fantastic. About
The
how
ma-
large? Sorry. About how large is the data node?
Oh, they're like the size of a football.
Okay.
They're not that big.
I'm sorry, Chief.
Do you want to take it with us, or try to access it here?
I was planning on taking it with us.
Really, the objective of the mission is to download the appropriate data that we need, which is to figure out when the Borg simulated Earth.
Okay, so don't really need the whole thing then. Alright.
Okay.
Because we're
Well, in that
probably
case,
gonna have to go back in time.
Oh, fun. Okay. Well, look for information concerning the assimilation of Earth and the Federation.
Okay. So let me guys get you set up here. It's probably going to be you and Nadon working on this. Them kind of flanking you as such. Let me know if that setup is not correct.
I believe Casey is probably taking point. Is that correct?
I'm not too worried about walking distance because it's only 30 meters away, so you're going to get to the node without any issues. I figure like so Nadon and Mendrock are at the node here working on it, and then I'm assuming you guys are forming some type of defensive ring around them. Really, I just need to know how that is set up.
Is it like an open hallway or like an open area, or could we have like Chuck with an eye on each side of like the group? I don't know if it's like a hallway or.
It kind of forms a T.
I see.
Something like that.
In that case, I would swap DeGrasse and Chakrath, because if Chakrath's in the direction we came from, we know that there's less. We didn't encounter any threats on that side.
We'll
That's
say
just
the
mine.
way you came from is here.
Oh, okay. Want to switch a route, Commander?
Sounds good to me.
If I can find this damn thing in the book. Okay, there's that. All right, so you guys are just trying to get information from the thing, right? You're not actually trying to take it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're attempting to access it before we need to take it on the ship if need be.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna make it an extended task. I'm getting it set up here. All right, so to hack this particular thing in this situation, it's going to be an extended task, difficulty of 5, work 25, magnitude 5, resistance of 4.
I don't know. Let's say it was something easy.
So you guys can figure out who's going to do what task, who's doing the assisting, all that fun stuff.
Well, if it's engineering, I have a talent that does the extra work.
I'm happy to assist on it.
Oh, I should probably give you stats for it, huh? We're going to call this daring engineering.
So this is a difficulty 5 task, Mendrock.
Yep.
Yeah, so this could either be daring engineering or daring security. And whoever starts the extended task has to complete it. So you can't switch in the middle of it in case things happen.
Well, I only have a 13, so
That ties with me, but your focus is better.
You're probably gonna have to do the roll, Mendrock.
okay. I'll just buy some more dice, apparently.
Do we have open communication with the away team?
Yes. Yeah, the ship's entirely powered down, so there's nothing interfering.
I'm going to use my captain superpower for the open comms. Like, Mendrak, you need to get that data as fast as possible, and I'm going to give him my determination.
Aye, Captain. Go ahead and take a threat for 2 extra dice.
So you're gonna probably want to roll. You probably want to spend your determination. The determination I just gave you for 2 out of
Okay.
successes, so that way the difficulty goes down to 3.
Oh yeah, okay. Yep.
And then how many extra dice do you want to buy?
I'll just buy one then.
So give him a threat though, because we want to keep the momentum, just in case.
Okay, yeah. So
1 threat, and we're spending 1 momentum. GM.
Yep, I got it.
alright. Same computer's focus.
Yep.
Alright.
Whoa, look at that. 6 successes, 7 successes. So you get 2 momentum. Mendrak, roll me 7 challenge dice, and Adon, you can roll me 1.
Sweet.
DeGrasse should be assisting with this.
If you want to throw him in there, I'm okay with that.
I would be happy to assist if I can.
All right, how are you assisting though?
So they're actually, I guess, dealing with it. Would you accept that I'm offering advice and consultation as they're doing it?
Sure, I'll let you roll presence engineering.
Okay.
And then you could roll a challenge dice as well.
He also has coordinated efforts.
What does that do?
Yep.
Scrutinize 2 or progression 1, which you probably want to do your scrutinize 2.
All right, let's do it. And then computers for a focus?
Yep.
Cool.
All right, so you get an extra determination, and then DeGrasse just roll me a challenge dice.
Darn.
Right now you are doing 3.
So
And I'm
the
trying to turn where scrutinize is.
scrutinize is piercing. So piercing 2.
Cool. So that will
And
give you 5.
he also Mendrak has nick and time, which every
Oh.
effect is +1.
All right, so you would do 6 work just from the rolls, 8 work because of the piercing from scrutinize. So that'd be 8 work altogether currently.
So resistance is 4. There's 3 effects. So that's -6 resistance.
Hold on. Let me find this scrutinize.
And
Aha! Nope, you are right. I thought it was just 2 periods. So yeah, so cut through the resistance. So you guys will do 10.
Yeah.
So you're down to 15 work. That'll be 1 breakthrough. Yep, forgot the magnitude. Cool.
Mendrak, you could probably just spend 3 momentum and roll 3 dice or 4 dice.
Yeah, let's do that.
Man, teach me to let you guys work together as a team.
You do have cautious.
Yep. So I can re-roll those two, right?
Just one.
Or one. Yeah.
All right, then just need the assist from Nadan and DeGrasse. I'll just take the first result. And then
That's 4.
oh, he rolled into a complication. Sorry, Nadan and Mendrak looked similar for a
He
minute.
has meticulous.
What does that do?
You can ignore the complication.
Cool. His character is literally built for this task.
Mhm.
Okay, so everyone can go ahead and roll me your challenge dice, please. I'm counting another 10.
That's what I got.
Yep.
Including the scrutinize.
Yep.
Cool.
The grass over there would be the backseat driver.
The ultimate supervisor. Shoulder
I know,
sharp.
right? Oh, I forgot to do stuff. Hold on. There are things I was supposed to do. Okay. Carry on.
Then momentum for 3 dice.
I swear, if you roll into another crit,
Yeah, you could
Wait.
re-roll that 0.
Yeah, I can.
it's still. Then Nadan and DeGrasse, go ahead and roll your assist, please. And then everyone can go ahead and roll challenge dice. So you guys get 5 momentum out of that.
I counted 4.
5, 6, 7. Nope, you are correct. It is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now you are doing 4 work. Nope. 5 work.
I say let it stand because that's 5 work, and that completes it, if I'm not mistaken, the work track. So there should be 2 breakthroughs.
It will be, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then GM is gonna have to roll to see if we get. That's not good.
So after that last huge breakthrough, three Borg drones disengage from their alcoves and enter into the corridors, and they're starting to head towards you.
I suggest we just finish the. I'm assuming we're going to combat at this point.
Yes.
We're going first.
Yeah, you guys are.
Go ahead and finish the work track, Mendrak, and then we'll keep the initiative and hopefully beam out. Hopefully.
Hi, Commander or Captain. Go ahead and buy an eye.
Wow.
I should just stop. Druck, you're killing me.
I feel good because I'm going to be missing At least one game.
Well, we're at 5 momentum gain, so just the assist at this point, I believe.
Come on, 2 complications. 2 complications. You guys can do it.
6 momentum.
Boom.
All right,
7.
roll me
So
some dice.
4 float. Dear God.
Yeah, okay. You guys get the info. Go ahead and spend your stuff for the transport.
So with the 4 floats, I guess 2 of that's going to keep the initiative before it goes away. And we're gonna beam the away team out.
Yep. Do I spend threat here? No, I gotta save the threat for later. Go
Uh-oh.
ahead and give me that difficulty. Difficulty 1.
Where is Sokolov? There
Isn't
he
it-
is.
So his base 2 goes up to 1, so 3. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you get the sensors and then you get for the transporter room.
I
Your
gotta
ship
roll
is stupid once we figured out how transporting actually worked.
So 1 float.
Yep. Yeah, you guys beam out, no problem. In and out.
Well, that was the most
Anticlimactic thing ever.
no, the most anticlim. Well, I was gonna say the most anticlimactic encounter with the Borg.
All right, so
Yeah.
after you guys get back to the ship, where are you guys going? Because I'll just move you there.
Mendrock's crushing of that task was quite
I know, that
climactic,
was-
but
That was amazing.
I feel good.
Here I set up this nice combat encounter for you guys and just crushes it.
Earning my
So close.
place here.
I was so
Um,
ready to start shooting.
So you guys want to go to conference room, bridge?
Probably, I guess, to the bridge. Let me know. Well, I know they got the data, so
Okay, well, we'll go to the bridge. So they all compiling onto the turbo lift.
Helm, get us the hell out of here.
I kept it.
As much as I want to use quad up torpedoes to blow them up.
All right, so we'll drop the scene now. We'll change scenes so you guys can get your power back. All right, so I have the information for you. We'll drop it into. So we'll keep you guys on the bridge. Nadana and Mendrock are just inputting into the computers now. I'll post it in Discord, so you guys can start to dissect it. Oh, that is definitely not what I grabbed. Disregard that message. I forgot it's on my other computer. Let's try this again. There we go.
Very cool.
I'm
Wow.
confused.
Let me know where the confusion is at, and I'll enter.
Well,
You guys get infinite questions on this. So
okay, so reading this, the collective learned of a future Admiral Janeway from created essentially a paradox that um, caused damage to their infrastructure. Wouldn't we have witnessed? Because time, from my understanding, Janeway didn't arrive yet. Like Voyager didn't arrive back home. So
Mhm.
when the transwarp corridor opened up at essentially Earth, they came in and invaded instantly. Except it happened everywhere all at once, which is the confusing part.
So it was probably they probably launched it a few days earlier. It just has to do with the timing of this particular episode. The exact time of all these events is I don't want to say irrelevant, but we could fudge them a little bit. I had to take some liberties with timelines. But like I said, if there's questions about that stuff, I want to make sure you guys get this accurate. So you guys could ask as many questions as you want, and it'll be the same as digging deeper into the data you found.
So when did the invasion actually occur?
Double checking my notes here. Make sure I'm not contradicting something I gave you earlier. And I think that answers that.
So GM, question.
Mhm.
Okay, so is this, I guess, these actions, is it from this new timeline? Or is it from the previous one and this information's carrying over?
Ask that question again.
Phrase the exact same way?
Yeah, just repeat it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out like if these events were from the timeline that we're currently in, or if it was from our timeline and this information carried over.
Go ahead and roll me insight science. I'll give this a difficulty of 2.
Okay. Does temporal mechanics apply?
Yes.
Cool. I'll take a momentum.
You get 2 momentum back, so you should be at max now. Okay, now I gotta find your name in here.
In the what we collected, is there a map of the transwarp network nodes?
Unfortunately, that information you did not get. But I will give you that the assault originated in Sector 001.
Captain, going through this data, I'm finally starting to remember some of my quantum mechanics classes back at the academy. All I remember is that I originally just disregarded this theory, thought it was a bit crazy. But with your permission, I'd like to spend a little bit of time going back, seeing what I can dig up, and learning a bit more about this. Might help us unravel this mystery, at least from a scientific standpoint. Uh, yeah, I might need a little bit of time to do some research.
Very well. Helm, find us a stellar body that we can hide in.
Aye, Captain. And the helm will find such a place and adjust course. Any other questions about the Borg data? And do we understand what happened here?
So, I mean, I guess I'll just clarify for myself. They figured out Janeway's plan to install the virus into the Borg and take down Transwarp, their Transwarp network. I haven't really watched Voyager that much, so I don't
Right.
have a great understanding of how that happened.
Yeah, so on the final episode, Admiral Janeway goes back in
Yeah.
time, tells them to go back into the nebula, take the transport things, get everybody back home sooner. During all of that, the Borg Queen was monitoring them because they did originally go in there. So she had a ship monitoring them and their communications and hacked into their systems and stuff. So they learned about the plan and were preemptive in this and were able to assimilate Janeway, Admiral Janeway, find out exactly the plan, and also use that to overwhelm the new Voyager defenses because they were able to adapt to it because now they had that technology.
Right. I think I would have gotten it but I haven't seen the end of Voyager since I
Right,
was a
right.
kid, so.
Yeah. Yeah, this is you kind of got to know. Oh, I don't want to say you kind of got to know, but if you watch that episode and remember it, you have a head start. And the about the virus thing, that was another episode of Voyager where they introduced Icheb and the kids.
Right.
Does the node have any technical information about the virus?
No, other than how to counteract it.
When did they learn about the virus?
You gotta make me dig up a star date.
Like, I'm more asking like how and they kind of learned of her plan before she enacted it.
So Janeway was on the ship for several days prior to them actually going through with their mission, and they were tracking Voyager ever since they left the nebula the first time. So somewhere in there is when they learned of the plan, because it takes time to refit defenses of a ship. Try to find you the start date of the learning of the virus, though, or at least a date. Memory Alpha, you fail me again. I can't find a date of that episode. But yeah, it was still months before they learned of the virus, because I think that was one of the questions.
Where did they learn of it, though? I'm assuming this is all the way in the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think on how to stop this. And, it's obvious, and the thing is, to stop them is to essentially allow the virus to do its thing. Essentially, to keep them from learning about the virus altogether is the more plausible way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you were thinking of something else entirely and I'm misreading this whole entire situation.
There is more information to learn from DeGrasse. So in terms of the virus, remember when Voyager met the kids on that Borg cube after it was disabled by a virus, by an engineered virus that they infected their kid with? So let's say Voyager didn't do that, and they came back to get their cube.
Okay. I get that, so
I think once DeGrasse gets his thing, I think a lot of this might become clearer.
I'm a little confused as well, like just on like where to go with the solution. If it's like a time, I assume it's going to be like a time.
Yeah, for the solution, you guys don't have all the information yet.
I
assume it will be some time shenanigans, but
the only thing I can think of is we go back in time, and inform Admiral Paris that Voyager needs to, or somehow send a message back in time to tell Admiral Paris that he needs to tell Voyager that they need to go to these coordinates and investigate where the kids are at. Which would prevent the Borg learning of the virus.
All right, so any other questions on that piece before we work on DeGrasse? Because I think once DeGrasse has his information, I think you guys will start to see some things.
I don't really have any, so.
All right, DeGrasse, you're in charge of this puppy, so use whoever you need. It's going to be an extended task. Difficulty, I changed it from what I originally sent you. It's going to be a difficulty 4, magnitude 4, work 20, resist 1, reason or insight with science, assisted by computer science.
Okay, cool. Yeah, could you post that in the chat? Or okay, yeah, I just saw it come through. Okay, so at that, DeGrasse will turn to Nadan and say, Nadan, would you care to help me do some research?
Sure. It'd be my pleasure, Commander.
Alrighty. So I'm assuming my temporal mechanics focus would apply.
Yes.
Cool. And I'll use a momentum. And let's do it. Ooh.
Ouch.
Welp.
Oh, complication. What do you guys want to do with that?
Let's get rid of it.
You don't have any rerolls like cautious or anything, right?
No, I just have bold command, it looks like. Okay. Yeah, so I'll use my determination on this.
All right. What value?
Let's do. Would you take an independent mind as a sharp mind?
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, let's just do a straight roll.
That's a much better roll. Five, six. I'm counting 7 successes, so you get 3 momentum. DeGrasse, you can roll me 6 challenge dice. Don, you may roll me 1. Ouch. So right now you're doing 1 work.
Yeah, so remind me, how much does it cost to re-roll?
1 momentum.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it, if it's even worth it at this point.
You can spend 1 momentum and reroll 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
let's.
Yeah, it's not 1 per dice. No,
Gotcha.
it's 1 to reroll as many as you want.
Gotcha. Yeah, let's do that.
And the Don, I'll let you reroll as well. So right now I got you doing 6 work, which will be a breakthrough. And then I'm going to send you guys some info. So you guys can role play during.
Well, Lieutenant, what do you think?
I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Do you think it has to do with string theory, Commander?
maybe, but I mean, unless unless things change between when you and I were at the academy, I, I thought this was a completely dead end. I mean, mathematically, I guess it's possible, but we've never seen any practical evidence of strings or any of the predictions. Well, let's keep digging.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, so you guys are basically pouring through like articles and articles, scientific journals of these long, drawn out, like scientific papers, trying to make sense of it.
Oh, flashbacks. Um,
So this will be a difficulty 3.
cool. Let's do it.
All right, you get 1 momentum. Go ahead and roll me the challenge dice you were rolling.
Let's spend a momentum and re-roll those 3.
All right. All right, now Don, you could re-roll 1 as well. That'll be another 7, so that'll be 6 more. But then I got something else in.
So, Lieutenant, one of the tenets of string theory was, if I remember correctly, and I'm understanding this esoteric research, uh, it's that there were multiple dimensions contained within our reality, right? The 3 plus 1 that we're familiar with, so 3 for space and 1 for time, and then further dimensions that were curled up tightly into geometric shapes that were too small to be experienced and, too abstract to ever be interacted with. In addition to that, there were theories that pointed to potentially multiple realities or multiverses, um, all happening at the same time, slightly different. There could have been an infinity of various multiverses with various starting configurations and their basic parameters. I don't know. Are you seeing the same thing?
maybe.
I'm just imagining DeGrasse just like doubled over his pad, just talking to himself, ecstatically digging through it.
Unless Nadon's having a mic problem again. Nadon, you still there? Think we lost Nadon.
The Borg got her.
I'm back. Sorry about that. What was it?
No worries. I was just nerding out about string theory and stuff. So
It was
I
good
see.
science talk, so if you missed it.
yeah, I'm reaching way back.
It
Yeah,
sounded very scientific, DeGrasse.
Yeah, I was trying to remember actually. I remember reading a bit about it, so I was just like, yeah, pulling that way, way back. But yeah, in that case, let's just keep going.
Diff 2.
Cool.
8 work left. You get 1 momentum out of it, and everyone can roll those challenge dice.
Oh, wrong one.
Right now, I have you doing 6.
Okay, let's spend a momentum and try re-rolling it.
That'll do it. Now I'll give you the rest of the info. All right, the task has been completed. I have given you all of the info.
Huh.
Lieutenant?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm pulling the same interpretation as you, but it seems like it might have been a shockwave from a black hole collision.
That could explain the sheer gravity interactions that would be required to do something like this. I don't know if there would be anything else in the universe that could create that kind of a disturbance.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it's a matter of gravitons interacting with the strings. I'm sure if enough interact, you can probably create some sort of connection between these multiverses and maybe for an instant traverse it. All right, well, as long as you think we have it, I guess we could regroup with the captain.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
And that is, I posted the information they learned. So you can, guys can have your scientific discussion.
So your conclusion on the matter, Commander, is that we got thrown into some sort of alternate reality.
I would say that that's certainly the theory that we have at this point. I mean, unfortunately, this is all, it's mathematical. The math works out. But as has been the case at this point for hundreds of years, we just don't have any actual experiential evidence to back this up. But this is our theory.
If I remember my Academy Science classes, would we not be essentially strings? Everything's connected, that we would be essentially vibrating at a different frequency. Could we check our quantum signature with the known matter here in this universe to see if there is some sort of difference?
Some sort of signature that would tie us back to our home universe?
Correct.
We can try. We can do some more digging.
So I will include this as a question for more info. So if you guys have any way to ask more questions and the like.
But we have just realized that the ship has advanced research facilities. Which we do get a bonus momentum, but I don't think you're using the research facilities.
Yeah, close enough. If it gives an advantage, I'll give it. I'm not too concerned where you do this at.
It just says whenever we're assisted by the ship's computers plus science, which we were, ship gains one bonus momentum, which we use on obtained information spent.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Because in my mind, you would be using all of your ship's resources to find this out. So yeah. So what did you actually call that, Captain? So I could get terminology consistent.
Essentially, technically, according we should be vibrating at a different frequency. So our quantum signature should not match, like ours should not match the universe that we're currently in, if that's the case. Because we're slightly vibrating differently, essentially.
Nope, I got it. Basically, Casey.
Well, Captain, Nadan and I did find a discrepancy in quantum frequencies. It was a very, very tiny one, but it was there.
Is there a way to get us back to our own universe.
GM, would we have to crash two black holes into each other again?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what the scientific method is all about.
Gotcha.
That was gonna be my response, and then I'm assuming that the scientific method is to try and find something at least somewhat more practical.
We'll just smash to, heavy gravimetric or graviton molecules. Hopefully recreate the desired effects.
Yeah. Well, maybe we could try with neutron stars and then see where that gets us.
Yeah, we'll just blow up a system. Why not? We can just blow up Sol. I mean, it's Borg now in this universe, so what does it matter?
Hey, there you go. Two birds, one stone.
There's multiple solutions to this. Really anything that seems plausible is probably a solution to this.
So we gotta pick, I guess, a department lead on this. I'm probably thinking science is probably the way to go.
Well, it definitely ain't security.
But it could be, Casey. It could be.
Well, I don't think it should be, at least. I have no ideas.
I believe Nadon has the highest science out of everybody. So you're science lead.
Sounds good.
So what is it that we have to? So we're trying to recreate the like black hole that brought us here, right?
We're trying to figure out a way to get back to our universe, essentially.
Right.
Like, we
and
gotta.
to do that, we need to create like a ludicrous amount of gravity.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out through the
Right.
scientific method. I mean, we don't have, unfortunately, vibe us into into our appropriate universe. Mixing our.
I don't know.
I mean, like I said, the solutions could literally be anything. I have a few in mind, but I don't want to give them to you guys.
Can we vibe check the Borg? And... vibe.
I think we can tackle this like two ways, either through science or engineering.
There's also so many different angles you could go at this as well.
I mean, technically we could use. You know what? Let's just go with science. I actually have an idea that we could go with. So it involves the deflector array, which is the classic trick to get out of situations.
The go-to.
Yeah, let's hear it. What's the deflector array?
We go to a black hole. We essentially artificially kind of induce it with the deflector array to create the desired effect and hopefully get it just right to where we back to our universe, or we create some sort of anomaly that we can travel through.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So you need me, Catherine.
Well, it's scientific method, so we have to pick a department lead. So I was thinking there's two ways about the way I'm thinking is either we go an engineering route or we go with the science route. either way, I don't think it matters which way we go about it. But essentially, this sort of myth the way is for us to roll when we're trying to figure out a solution, and the GM then tells the solution. If we get it right. Assuming we pick the appropriate focus.
Well, you can do, I don't know, one of the other does everything in Star Trek is like antimatter. I feel. Um,
Well, we could if we don't get it with the science route, if we think we're running dead, and we can always switch to engineering, and start over from scratch, assuming we're not on like a timed thing.
well, I guess the Borg are trying to find us, but I guess that would be our major time limiter.
Hence the reason why we're hiding a stellar body currently.
Yeah, they're not gonna find you. They're not exactly looking for you either. As far as the Borg are concerned, the Federation is no more.
In this universe,
Correct. In this universe.
we gotta get to the right universe.
Um,
So yeah, we're going science, which means I guess we're on the focus stage, which we need to select 3 to 5 focuses.
Yep. Yeah, and then you gotta tie them into a plan.
Imagine astrophysics and temporal mechanics should both be part of it, probably.
So we're doing quantum mechanics and astrophysics for 2 of them.
should we do deflector operations or
I
deflector?
say deflector operations.
All right, so you said quantum mechanics, deflector.
And astrophysics, I think.
Yeah.
and I thought there was something about time, or was that quantum?
Quantum mechanics, I thought.
Okay.
I had suggested temporal mechanics actually, but if you guys want to have quantum mechanics in there too, I'm cool with that. I'm just thinking since the first shockwave had chronoton radiation involved, it might make sense to have somebody.
So we'll go with the temporal mechanics. We'll have astrophysics, deflector operations, and temporal mechanics, and I suggest we only go with the 3 starting out with, just to see if those are any possible, because he could take a threat and tell us, nope, it's none of these.
All right, so then the question is, what are you guys trying to do? What's the plan of action with each of those things? Like, what's the plan if you were to use them? So, like, Prax had an idea with his deflector thing. Just spell out like what that idea is, like how you would use the deflector. How do you use temporal mechanics? How do you use whatever the third one was? Astrophysics, I think.
Yeah. So for astrophysics, I'd be suggesting that we look for finding other natural phenomena that could create a chronoton shockwave of the necessary magnitude to have a chance to jump back to our timeline.
I was thinking, what if you initiated an antimatter like explosion or reaction, where you'd want the singularity to be, and then if you could modify the deflectors as well
So,
to amplify it.
Uh, s- um, save that one for the next grouping, just in case it's none of these.
Okay.
And was that basically what you're saying, Nadon? Finding
Yeah,
natural
basically.
phenomenon to recreate the chronoton shockwave?
Yeah.
Right. So we got temporal mechanics and
Deflector operations essentially create a spatial rift that essentially allows us to transverse to our universe, essentially create a gateway.
all right, and the temporal one.
Do we only put up 3, or can we do more?
You could do more.
Okay.
Yeah. Your odds are better if you limit it, though. Because instead of like a 1 in 4 or a 1 in 5 chance, you have a 1 in 3 chance if I say one of them's correct.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
But you could have as really as many as you want.
Well, I'll save it in case none are correct.
Well, what is your thing?
So lots of deep reading on Memory Alpha shows that apparently Borg vessels project chronoton fields throughout the vessel, and I guess they use it for like the transwarp conduits. So I was thinking, we have a Borg vessel that's stranded. We could try to steal whatever device generates that field.
So I believe the last one was temporal. What were you guys going to do with that? Temporal mechanics.
Um, my guess would be to suggest seeing if there's a way to artificially make chronoton radiation using resources we have at hand, and make a artificial connection between between the string, this universe and our universe that we could travel along.
You wanna type that?
Sure. If folks are okay with that as a plan of action, anyway.
Sounds good to me.
All right, I'm back. All right, so are those the 3 you're going with?
Yeah.
One of these will work. All right, so now, Nadan, what's going to happen is you're going to choose one of these three paths, and anyone that has a science score of at least 2 can assist. And I have a difficulty in my head that you guys will have to reach in order to do the thing. You know, whatever one that you guys are choosing. I, however, I'm going to spend 7 threat here. Nadan, your calibrated sensors has detected a Borg sphere heading towards your location. You will have
Oh dear.
6 intervals in order to choose the correct one.
Okay.
Um,
I'll let the captain know. Captain, we've got a Borg sphere incoming. Still a ways out, but it's on the way. We'll need to work quickly.
I suggest get started then.
All right, so Nadan, since you are the research lead, you are going to pick one of those 3 options, and you're going to start rolling toward that. Like I said, I have a difficulty in my head, but I can't tell you what it is. So you gotta hope you pick the right one. Everyone that has a science score of at least 2 can assist, and I will give the ship an assist of computers and science for the roll.
Does this include activated supporting characters, or just players?
If you spend the crew support to activate them, yes, you can.
Or do
use
they
them as
go
well.
deactivated every scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a science of 3, so
Yep.
I should be able
So,
to help.
yep, Mendrak, you can assist.
Can I? Yeah. We should probably decide what strategy we're working on first.
We're gonna. So we have 6 rounds essentially, or 6 attempts at this, before they arrive.
Technically 3, unless you spend momentum to have the time.
So we have 6. Okay, 6 intervals. So
6
we only
intervals. Yes.
have three tries at this.
Yes.
That,
Before before a sphere arrives.
that does not leave room for a lot of air, especially if the difficulty is like 10.
Yeah.
Well, we can always max out our crew support.
I think it's only technically. I think some games it's up to like how many supporting characters we have. I have a science score of 2, so obviously I can roll. Mendrak can roll. DeGrasse can roll. The Don. So it's really only you, Casey, if you want to play a supporting character to roll. Which
I'll
we
play
have.
Solva at least. Yeah. They'll boost us, but if it's okay with that, I'll activate Solva.
Yep.
And play him this scene.
Works for me. You could probably give him something too, because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's been activated before.
Yep. What's he have? Oops.
So I probably won't let any other crew support assist, but I will allow you to use them to create advantages.
Right.
Because that's one thing you could do with them.
Which route are we going with? That might that'll let me know which what I should probably give him. For
I
new
wouldn't
focus.
give him a focus for this. So you want to give him temporal mechanics, but you don't. I would maybe just up his science to 5. I don't think that's been done yet.
Nope. Yeah, I'll just do that.
It
All
gives
right,
them better
science
range.
5.
So yeah, choice is yours, Nadon. And we want to get as many successes as possible. So if you haven't spent your determination, now is probably the best time to do it.
Yeah, I will.
Yep, you have your determination. You have 5 momentum.
I think I'll take the direct route this time and try for deflector first. If folks are okay with that.
Sure.
Yep.
And I will, to activate my determination, I will give the value collaborative problem solving yields better solutions.
I'm pretty sure that applies in this situation.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're probably going to die to the Borg sphere. So I don't think threat. I would say just spend 3 momentum and give him 2 threat and roll 4 dice. That's up to you.
What's the roll?
Oh, control science.
Let's see.
Okay. And yeah, I'll get to roll 4 dice. And it's a
So-
control science.
Yep, so 2 threat to me. Cool.
Plus spending my determination. So,
Yep.
okay.
So right now you'll have 5. 7, 8.
Would you take a focus in quantum mechanics?
No.
So,
Would you take a focus in temporal mechanics, astrophysics?
No.
It would have to be deflector operations because we're using the deflector dish for this. So.
Okay. Cool.
Do you have a, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes. And a complication.
It's 11 successes because determination.
Oh, yeah. Good call. Okay.
I will spend the 2 momentum to squash.
Cool. Okay, so Nadon, you and your team of all the bridge officers are working tirelessly to set up this this deflector pulse to tear open space and subspace and connecting the strings connected by black holes to try to use it in an effort to get back to your own system. You think you have it set up. The ship flies through the rift and emerges on the other side. The sensors show that you are within half a light year of Earth, and that you are at time index. Let me pull up the time index. I had it up, but close the damn thing. Of time index 54973.4. The ship receives the priority 1 message instructing all ships of the Borg the suspected Borg activity, and all ships are required to join the fleet.
Lieutenant, check our vibrational frequency.
Yes, Captain. So I'll do that.
Vibe
Give me
check us.
give me insight, science, difficulty of 2. Oh, you know what? I got all this threat. Let's make it diff 3.
Okay. Is that assisted by the ship?
Yeah, computers, science, and you guys do have 1 momentum because you guys got 1 more over the difficulty.
Yeah, I'll spend to get a die.
You technically don't gain momentum from.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, never mind then. I will not
Cool.
spend.
unfortunately.
Because I don't want to give more threats, so.
I mean, I have 2.
Balls. Well then.
It wouldn't have mattered anyway because you didn't get it.
As far as you can tell, Nadan, you are exactly where you thought you would be.
Seems like we are where we should be, Captain.
Very well. Helm, resume our course to Earth. Maximum warp.
I kept it. DeGrasse has sent me something.
Captain, looks like they want us to head to the second group. Or head up the second group, rather.
Second group.
Like task force. You are definitely one of the 18 ships that are responding.
Notify Helm, move us within position. Notify all vessels within task force to reroute communications and for directions here to this vessel.
So you guys get to the location, and you start seeing the transwarp aperture start to, have that blue glow. When the fleet is hailed, this is Admiral Paris. Use all necessary force. I repeat, all necessary force. A few seconds later, a Borg sphere emerges from the conduit. We will enter combat. You guys can go first.
Nadon, scan that Borg sphere.
Aye, Captain. We'll go ahead and scan it.
Check for any Federation signatures.
Oh, this is gonna have to be a difficulty. It's gonna have to be a difficulty 4. Base difficulty 4, control science, assisted by ship sensor science.
So diff 3.
Yep.
Can I get one extra die?
You can get as many extra dice as you want.
You have to give him threat.
Yeah. How much threat would one more die cost?
If you wanted to just buy one, it'll be 1 threat. If you wanted to buy 2 dice, it'll be 3 threat.
I'll buy one.
Shit. I rolled it.
Oh, sorry. I did not notice. My bad.
It's okay.
So we got some momentum out of it at least.
Yep, I'm typing it.
Captain, I'm detecting the USS Voyager.
What range are they in?
Medium.
Instruct all vessels to prepare to fire quantum torpedoes on these coordinates.
The fleet acknowledges the command.
Prepare to fire. Is the Borg sphere still heading in?
Yep.
Fire all quantum torpedoes.
All right, Casey. I believe that's you.
Yes, I do believe you are correct.
Div 3.
Yep. I'll spend threat and wait. Actually, that's only diff 3. Yeah, I'll spend a threat and 2 momentum for 4 die.
We're doing full salvo, so
Okay.
he's getting 4 threat. Or sorry, more than it's 3 threat for a salvo, then I guess the 2.
In that case, I'll generate 1 threat. Can I spend my determination on the value uphold Starfleet tradition because we're defending the Federation from the Borg, and that is probably a tradition of Starfleet.
I don't think so. I will take there's light at the end of the tunnel though, because that seems
Sure, yeah.
seems like one that could be used here. After
Like-
what you've just gone through.
Yeah, I will spend my determination on that then. And yeah, so I guess then it would be 2 threat for 3 dice. I'll still do it. See if I can get some momentum here. That was with my stats, obviously.
Yep.
That's the ship.
Damage, please.
Yep.
It's full salvo, so
6,
your
7,
dice.
4 momentum. Can't find the shit. Yeah, Berg's got 8 successes, damn.
How much? Hold on. So
Should
how-
be 10.
should be 9 dice.
Yeah, it's 9 dice.
Yeah.
Wait.
Total 10. But how much momentum did we gain off the roll?
So I did determination, so that should be
So you got 8 successes.
yeah, so 5 momentum.
Yep.
Spend a momentum to reroll. 4.
Mm-hmm. Ouch. 11.
11.
Right now you are doing 4.
1 for piercing.
6.
It's high yield, so that's 2 breaches. Then it's salvo, so it's spread. So it was total of 11, 6, 7 damage base.
Yeah. Right now the second hit would not hit their resistance.
Resistance is 7, so
Yes.
it's doing 8, right? Yeah. So 3 momentum for piercing.
All right, that would be 4 breaches.
For the spread?
Well, not
11.
well, total. That's 4 breaches total between the first
Oh.
hit and this hit.
Okay. What's their shields though?
2. They would be down to 2.
One for. Oh wait, we already maxed out piercing, so it's not gonna do anything. You take threat.
Let me double check the math here. How much did the first hit take off?
It's 11 total.
And that's after the resistance, right?
No. We didn't spend. We spend 1 for for piercing to get it to.
Okay. All right, so that took 6 off of their shields, 2 breaches. How much is the second hit doing?
The second one is doing so. It's you round up, so it goes to 6, total of 8. You spent 3 to get the resistance. So we're looking at 7 on that. So total of 13.
Yeah, so 2 shields. 1, 2, 10. Yeah, they got 2 shields left. That's right. Cool.
Yeah, there's not enough momentum to keep the initiative. So
Okay. After you fire your full salvo, and every ship is shooting phasers, torpedoes. You start to notice that the Borg sphere seems to be blowing up from the inside. You are hailed again by Admiral Paris ordering all ships to hold their fire. The Borg sphere continues to disintegrate, and flying through the debris and the fire is the USS Voyager.
Status report of the Borg sphere.
Let me find Casey. There you are.
The Borg sphere is destroyed, Captain. No other Borg ships detected.
Kind of slight smile comes to her face. Casey, open hailing frequencies to the Starship Voyager.
Channel open.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the end of Theory into Reality.